APAC News Network. We have with us IAS Aman Mittal, Joint CEO of Maharashtra Institution for Transformation, MITRA. Hi sir, welcome to APAC News Network. Sir, I wanted to understand how is MITRA leveraging technology to address the water sustainability issues in the state?
So apart from being at Mitra, I'm also holding charge in water supply department in Maharashtra. So when we look at leveraging technology for water sustainability, there it has to be at multiple levels. So one of the fundamental things that we're looking at is to introduce technology to reduce what we call non-revenue water. That is creating better monitoring systems, creating systems which reduce leakages, and to be able to understand what are the major issues which are happening by creating and utilizing data which gets generated from it. So I think our main target is to be able to reduce the non-revenue water from something like 38 to 40% to around 25% in the next 3 to 4 years, for which we've already started something like a Internet of Things IoT scheme for around 389 schemes which it's already undergoing, and we're also proposing it for the rest of there are total 40,000 plus schemes that we are doing as part of JJM. So within that we should be able to cover all those schemes in the next 5 years is our target. As and that is from water supply. From Mitra, we are also trying to take it to the for the proper funding and to make it more policy oriented, so that the data that we are generating out of it can then be utilized to actually reduce leakages and to improve the sustainability aspect, because sustainability also is not only about reducing the leakages but also being able to create a better water infrastructure as part of the infrastructure network of this country, as well as to be able to reduce the utilization wherever not required. And in the last stage, it's also about providing alternate sources of water. We are going through a lot of STPs which are getting created. So to be able to monetize that water for creating non-drinking assets, like the buildings which are made or which do not require very clean water sources, to those industries can be provided with alternate water sources from STP. So these are parts of the long-term chain of sustainable water supply that we want to create for the state of Maharashtra.
Okay. So can you elaborate a little on a few policies that you're implementing to make Maharashtra more water secure and also maybe improve the quality of water?
One of the most important schemes which is going on, for which Maharashtra is also a major beneficiary, is the JJM scheme of Government of India. Within the JJM scheme, I guess two things which we are taking up in a very very big way, apart from Har Ghar Jal and Har Ghar Nal, also is the source strengthening, which is basically sustainability of sources have to be maintained. So that is one thing that we are kind of taking forward. The other is, as part of it, we are trying to, from Maharashtra side, we are trying to do something like a Marathwada water grid. So Marathwada is one of the most water scarce regions of Maharashtra. So once that thing comes up, at least that area will be able to have a regenerative water supply schemes for all the 8 districts which are part of Marathwada. Apart from that, there is the Catch the Rain program and Atal Bhujal Yojana, which is basically Government of India schemes which we are implementing in most urban and rural areas. In other urban areas, the main schemes are in terms of Amrut 2.0 schemes, which are STP schemes, and to ensure that all the water that was earlier being not treated is getting treated. Now, once you have that treated water, the idea is to be able to utilize it for for either industry purposes or for non-drinking purposes wherever it is possible. And I think in some areas it has been mandated also by regulation that only STP treated water will be utilized for something like building constructions and things like that. So that is the pipeline that we are creating.
Okay. So at last, how was your experience being a part of this conclave, and how do you think the platform can help you connect with more people and help your initiative grow bigger?
I think conferences like these are actually very very useful. I'll be very specific to this conference. So it's few of the many important things that we kind of understood here, like one of the concepts of water audits and water credits. That is something probably very very useful to look at in the long run, and I think that is one thing I also learned myself through this conference. Apart from that, they also build a general consensus about how to go forward in terms of water sustainability and technological adoption within it. Because one of the major problems that we face in terms of technological adoption is the multiple standards and then linking it together into ways so that they can interact with each other. The data that they produce that can be utilized in multiple ways to get more insights. So I think conferences like these bring us all into a single platform, and maybe in the long run we are able to get some really good policies. Like I think catch the rain policy came out as a part of this conference in the earlier periods. So I think this is where I see it going in the long run. So data generation, data standardization, and then obviously new policies so that we actually get that integration happening and we see a reduction of you know water wastage, or probably a reduction of the non-revenue water as we call it, and make water more accessible as well as to make it more usable for the right people. When I say usable, so for drinking, that type of water should be there. For non-drinking purposes, the other type of water should be utilized. So I think those for these things, we all need to come out to a consensus between so many levels, at policymaker, consumer, and the industry. And I think that is where these conferences are very, very useful. And in fact, I personally am looking forward to holding a lot more conferences for the policies that we are doing in Maharashtra, largely because without that, it's very difficult to bring everyone on a single platform and drive the policy forward.
Absolutely. So we are also looking forward to maybe talk to you again. Thanks a lot for being a part of this. Thank you, sir.